going through their different social media programs and platforms, and we've been looking at what's been working, what's not working, what we can improve on, and how we can help the Kraken to best launch their new team and to best promote them best possible. So, ready for the next slide. All right. So first, I'll introduce myself. My name is Ian, and I'm going to present the activity tracking today. So first, we went on 3 different platforms, and we looked at TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and we pulled together some stats to present to you guys today. And we're going to show you basically what's working, what's not, whatever you. I can't actually see the bullet points because there's a block on the presentation. So I'll just go off of best memory, or if we can get that rectified, that'd be nice. All right, thank you. So first, one thing I saw on TikTok is visually appealing posts, different nature backgrounds, evergreens, the arena pictures. Those TikToks tended to have done better than other ones. So stuff that has like visually appealing content in the background or just visually appealing pictures did very well on their platform. And another thing is keep using tags. On TikTok, a big way to get extra views to help extra people see your post and to make sure the word spreads is use hashtags because people will actually follow hashtags and that actually helps more people view it. So hashtags really were effective for them and they seem to be working out great. The one problem they did have was inconsistency. We were looking, I don't think they've posted for 7 straight days now. A little inconsistency with their posts have lost them a little bit of viewers, but obviously that's a problem that can be rectified in the future. We're ready to move on. With Instagram, team-specific posts were really big. Things that pertaining to different hires in the team, what moves the team are planning to make, logos, jerseys, any promotional things, merchandise. Those posted really well, and it was really helping the team. Different arena pictures, different things like that. Anything that was team-specific seemed to do really well. And then another big thing is keep replying to comments. Comments, when you go, especially for my generation, if you go and actual creator of the post replies to your comment, it makes you feel good inside. You want to keep supporting that club. You want to keep looking at what they have to post, and it just really gives you a good feeling inside. So if you keep replying to comments, that's a big thing to help support a fan base. Next slide. Twitter. Their Twitter was their most successful site so far. Their Twitter looked really good, and they had a lot of good informational posts on there, and it seems to be doing really well. Repost was the one thing I did have a concern about. Typically, I don't know if that's a big thing with Twitter, but their original posts seem to do really good. And I've actually had, if you look at the third column, I did an original post versus one of their reposts for examples. Their original posts seem to do a lot better than their repost, with their first one getting 1.6K likes and their repost only getting 335 likes. That's just one of the examples of how one of their original posts did a lot better than their repost. And I don't know if there's a specific thing with Twitter that you do repost, but from what I saw, their original post seemed to do a lot better than their repost. Another thing is they seem to hit the demographic really well with Twitter. Their posts seem to be content specific. And as opposed to TikTok or Twitter, you would obviously not post the same things you would on TikTok as you would on Twitter. So they seem to do a good job of matching their demographic on Twitter. Informational posts, those were really good. They had a lot of information about the World Juniors, different hires within their staff that were really good in informing people. And it showed in the comments as well as people were gracious for the different informational posts they made, and it really helped out. All right, we're ready to move on to analysis now.
To start off with the analysis, hi, I'm Aviana, and based on the social media charts, we got that Kraken is great with collaborating with their fans and gaining energy, and they are really good at putting in informational posts about hockey and just to have fun with the fans. And one thing that wasn't that well with them was that they were reposting like a lot that wasn't very important. Another thing was that they were inconsistent on TikTok, and the high school audiences look for like funny things on social media, which is why they mostly go on social media. And Cole will go into the competition with the hockey part.
So yes, hi, my name is Cole. I'm just gonna jump in real quick on the competition with Vegas. So it was kind of hard to compare with other different teams that like was hard that was like kind of similar with the Kraken situation in terms of social media. But the next closest we kind of have is Vegas, where they had come into the league about 3 years ago. So their social media team used a combination of sarcasm, pop culture references, and team-related news throughout their social media. The content was perfect for the fostering of fan interaction. They were able to appeal to the younger, meme-savvy followers, but weren't so obscure that they had alienated from older fans. Some examples that I found was there was a tweet with a picture of Marc-Andre Fleury with a dog named Barc-Andre Fleury, and they had a little picture there with the jersey for the dog as well. There was another post as well that was Vegas replying to San Jose Sharks tweet. The original tweet was about how San Jose was leading in temperature, and they were like their their description said that sorry, I'm pausing here, that they were already in the lead before Vegas was already playing them, and then Vegas replied saying, because everybody knows how good San Jose Sharks are holding leads. Okay. Going to the ideas and solutions. Before I get into these three main ones, I also want to bring up the part about the social media platform that we thought was best that they should focus on. We considered Instagram as probably being the best. It's a very good well-rounder of all social media. You're able to do DMs, you're able to do those stories, your posts and stuff like that. You're able to see past posts. It mainly also because it appeals to the age group that we are currently in and that we're targeting as well. And mainly because Twitter and TikTok, I mean, Twitter, I feel like we feel like appeals to that more higher aged group, and then TikTok appeals slightly to the ones below us. I feel so. I think that was another big thing. But then going to the three topics here, so our three ideas that we came up with were so one deals with Zoomies, one deals with Starbucks, and then the other is the Seattle Kraken being in electronic arts NHL. For Zoomies, the first part for Zoomies is having select merchandise or select Kraken merchandise with a 15% discount. This is not all the time. This is mainly for like almost as a promotion to when the Kraken would win at home. The following day, they would have a 15% discount at Zoomies. And I mean, to tie it into the social media aspect, it's I mean, realistically, they could do a post saying, oh, make sure you can go get your 15% off at Zoomies the following day. The second part we have is the team wears custom jerseys produced by Zoomies. I mean, so we figured out that Zoomies is tied with like they sell Adidas, which is like the big one that's in the NHL for jerseys. So we thought, well, maybe Zoomies would be good for doing all the Kraken merchandise and stuff like that. So we thought, well, maybe they can do a custom jersey for the Kraken. But sadly, with NHL regulations, they can only wear their specific jerseys for come regular season. But for preseason and for warmups, though, they're free to pretty much wear what they want, which would be the ideal time for them to be able to wear these custom jerseys. For the third one, fan submit designs of different Kraken merch that they can think of. So like different logos, different not color patterns, but like different patterns. Like I have the idea of the like almost the gold and white on the side there, if you can see it. But is like it was supposed to get a way to get fans interacted with, and especially like our age group getting to interact with, maybe get into the part where I can create designs and stuff like that. And be able to have Zoomies sell it, which I thought was pretty cool, and I think would definitely appeal to our fan base or the fan base that we're trying to target.
So we also had a Starbucks idea because they are founded in Seattle. So Kraken should make like an inspired beverage, like with their team colors, that will come with the fans. Like they will draw their attention to it because it will look cool and it probably taste good too. And the staff would wear Kraken pins to show support, and they would think that's cool too. So with every drink you get, you enter into a raffle to win tickets to the game also.
And then adding to that and part about able to win tickets to games. I know one idea that we kind of to add on to that was like customers that's like could be able to purchase a drink using like a Kraken inspired cup, and they would be able to submit like a photo of themselves with that drink to like a post that Kraken would do. Or I know like a lot of sports teams do like their own app. So I know with like I believe Vegas has their own app for like theirs, and Pittsburgh Penguins do as well. I know like a lot of these teams like to get their own apps, and then they post their own like social media and stuff like news and videos and stuff in and outside of the rink, which I thought that could be another spot where they can be able to like submit these kind of things.
Okay. Then our last idea and solution would be promoting the Kraken and EA's NHL. So we know EA and esports has taken over the gaming world, as we know. A lot of kids nowadays are actually playing esports in video games as they don't go outside as much. Might not to be as healthy, but a lot of people are on these virtual video games. And my idea was that we could actually promote the Kraken in NHL. We have different partnership opportunities where we could actually the fans will hold up signs and we could have different promotional opportunities like Starbucks. They could have Zoomy shirts, different promotional opportunities like on the boards, different like sponsorship opportunities within the game that could actually advertise for the club. And then there was another thing that was a big success that Vegas did, which is there's actually a mode in NHL called franchise mode where you can go and create your own team and you can actually launch your own franchise. And what happened was Vegas actually NHL put their franchise in NHL 19. They put Vegas's franchise into the franchise mode where people can go and make their own Vegas Golden Knights, draft their own team through the expansion draft, and basically sign contracts, everything like that Vegas did. And it was actually a real appeal to fans and it actually worked out pretty well. And that was one of the successes of their launch. So we were thinking in NHL 21, possibly the Kraken can do something similar and launch their own team in the game and have people go in and do the same thing, create their own franchise, hire who they want to, and basically make their own Kraken franchise, which should also actually appeal to fans. And this helps attract the non-traditional hockey market, as we were thinking non-traditional hockey fans specifically play the game, and this could help attract a non-traditional hockey fans. And I have also a quick story. I'm from Maryland, and I, wasn't really big on hockey before when I was in Maryland. But then I moved down here, and I got the game NHL 2K9, and I started playing it. Didn't really know much about hockey at the time, but started playing it, started liking it, and to this day, I was like, well, this game's really good. And I asked my parents, I was like, can I start trying to play hockey? They're like, hockey? Where'd you get this from? So I was just in there practicing. They got me a pair of rollerblades, cheap $20 rollerblades. Just went in there, started practicing, grinding, got better today playing double A hockey up in Mooresville somewhere. So, I mean, it's just a way that a virtual video game can really attract a non-traditional hockey fan like myself to be a fans for life. And it really can work. And it has worked on me. And I think it can work on other people as well. And another big thing is EA makes a new game every year. So it's not something that's going to be like a one and done. It's a continuous opportunity and it can be a lifelong partnership. And then I think if you click the middle video, I've actually made an example of what this franchise could look like. I've gone into NHL 21, and I've actually made a custom franchise for the Kraken, and I have a visual need access. If we can play the video, that'd be great. If not, we can do it another time. But yeah, I've actually gone in and made an example of what the Kraken franchise could look like in NHL. And Cole, if you feel free to give us an update of how it's going, if we can do it or not.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not able to access it.
All right, here, I'll screen share if you like, and I can do it myself.
Okay.
Okay, no. I think the host has to give me permission. But if not, it's fine.
trying to give you permission, and I'm not sure. Oh. Yeah, you should. It says all participants should be able to share. So try it again now that he's not sharing.
All right, thank you. Okay, I'll just play the video. That's there. I've actually made home jerseys, away jerseys, and third jerseys, but I'll play the middle video since it seems to be the fastest.
Ian, you may have to put it on presentation mode to be able to play the videos.
Okay, thank you.
One over. There you go.
Thank you. And then I've just made custom arena for them. I couldn't obviously use the same logos because of, their logos obviously not in the game yet, but just different things that we could customize to give as close of a simulation to what this could look like in the NHL 22, and to see if we could actually start a partnership with EA. That would be great. You actually see the boards. We could add different advertisements there. I know some views, the fans will actually hold up signs. We could put different promotional things like there. We could put players with Starbucks drinks in their hands, different opportunities there as well. All right, yep, and that concludes our presentation.
All right, let's stop sharing so we can all see everybody.
Yeah, I will try that. Did I just hit escape?
Probably.
Yeah, there should probably be a stop sharing option.
There we go.
There you
I
go.
lost it.
All right, well, that was great. I appreciate that. Really impressive. I think you guys did a really, really good job of articulating all of your ideas. You presented some research and some background. Jeff, any questions you want to launch with? You want me to?
Yeah, no, I just want to reiterate, you guys did a fantastic job. I mean, I teach at a university, and we do a similar project and similar presentations. And I've not seen any of the other teams' presentations here, but you guys were every bit as strong as a lot of the college presentations that we've seen. All three of you were really poised and comfortable in your presentation. You knew your information, and as Sam pointed out, did a really great job of researching a couple items that I wanted to dig in deeper with. But kind of just first general question, and Ian, if you want to handle this, or Cole, I know Cole, you pointed out like the personality of Vegas's social media, right, as sort of being cheeky and humorous and willing to engage with some of the other teams. How would you guys describe what you've seen of Seattle's personality? What adjectives would you use to describe their overall personality online?
Cole, if you want to start, you could go ahead and jump in, and I give my
No,
thoughts.
good. You can start it off.
All right, so what I saw from Seattle was I saw a community that was really strong, based first on agriculture. First and foremost, they were really passionate about their evergreen forest. They were passionate about their history, their Needle Space Tower. They were passionate about that, and their Pacific Ocean. And they're really a sports community that can really tie behind their sports teams. They really support the Seattle Sounders, the Seahawks, even their junior teams, the Seattle Thunderbirds. They get a lot of fan support from them. So if you can just rally the community together behind the Kraken based off of their other sports teams and what they've done already, and pull together people like celebrities from the area like Macklemore, Zumi, Starbucks, pull together some different partnerships that people like in Seattle and that people will come to visit in Seattle and tie it to the sports team, I think it'll be a really good launch to help the community out.
Excellent. And again, I think you guys did a great job of identifying the different objectives of each of the different platforms, right? The team uses Instagram for this purpose. They use TikTok for this purpose. And I really think that the three partnerships that you described with Zoomies and Starbucks and EA there were all fantastic for different reasons. Could you guys as a team just walk me through like the process of how you came to those three partners and the three ideas that you came up with, just kind of internally? I'm just curious as to how you got there, because again, the ideas were excellent.
Yeah, I think I'll start it off here. So we had done research on based off Seattle, and we found that Starbucks is based in Seattle, Zoomies based in Seattle, EA, that was more of a one that like all these non-traditional hockey fans could get used to, but that one was definitely not directed towards Seattle. But going back to Zoomies and Starbucks, I mean, Starbucks, Zoomies are both pretty big icons in Seattle. I know if it definitely had like a Starbucks like right down the street from me, I'd be going pretty much every single day. That's not the case here, but in Seattle, I mean, it's definitely big. I mean, they're definitely big in their agriculture. I know there's definitely other big businesses like Amazon was another one, and definitely some other ones. But I think for coming up with ideas, I feel like Zoomies brought out like the merchandise aspect of it, and I feel like Starbucks brought out the fan interaction part of it. And I feel like those two, we wanted to try to hit both of those with the merchandise aspect and with the fan interaction part of it.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I'd like to build off what Cole said. I agree exactly what Cole said. We did the Zoomies for merchandise. Fans need their apparel, and it was a big partnership there. And then Starbucks, everyone's drinking Starbucks nowadays. Everyone loves Starbucks. And we were thinking of just some custom drinks. It's great for social media. Someone goes to Starbucks, gets their drinks like, hey, Kraken special, post it on social media. It can really blow up, and some really good ideas can come from there. And then the EA idea was just to not only attract a local market for Seattle, but a nationwide market. And some stuff that we thought of there were that there's a lot of partnerships with EA, especially with the World Gaming Championships at the end of the year. A lot of different partnerships. I know McDonald's had a huge pull in last year's, and just a lot of different partnerships, and not only just attracting a local market, but a nationwide market, and not only just traditional hockey fans, but just sports fans in general, just attracting everyone that we can towards the team and to support the Kraken.
Awesome. One last comment before I kind of kick it back over to Sam for a little bit is I think you guys did a really great job of recognizing the objective of creating feelings for the customers, right? I think the reason that a lot of brands, it's clear that a reason a lot of brands do sports marketing is that they're able to tap into this emotion that fans have for the sports property. So even as quickly as like, hey, responding to comments online or thinking that they're a cool team because the Starbucks staff is wearing them, you guys tapped into that really well. And Ian, for you particular, like you shared a great personal story, right? About like how, hey, I'm a non-traditional hockey fan, was never really a huge fan. I use this other platform and now I'm in. As you guys develop in your careers, don't be afraid to share those personal stories when you're presenting and you're talking to brands and you're talking to people, because that's the essence of what they're trying to tap into. That's why they're talking to sports properties, is to hear that like story of like, hey, I didn't care about this, then I did this thing and I cared about it. And I don't only care about the team, but I care about your association with the team. That was huge. And again, for you guys as high school students to kind of tap into that and not only recognize it, but build programs around it was really, really excellent. Great job.
Yeah, jump on top of Jeff, your original comment. I used to run a graduate program, and this is better than a lot of the presentations I even got from grad students. So again, just not to keep on heaping praise on you guys, but this was really, really well done. All of you, I think at one point mentioned the demographics that you looked at. And I think, Cole, it was probably you who eventually presented the idea that you were settling on Instagram as the recommendation to really focus on. What is it about that target market that you think makes the most sense for the Kraken? Why'd you choose that?
I mean, I think a big thing was, I think majority of sports teams are like all over Instagram because they know, everyone, like the platform's been around since 2006, 7, I can't remember. But I mean, they've been around for so long, and sports teams have recognized that, a lot of people have, interacted with Instagram in some sort of way, and that can definitely reach out to a lot of different consumers or fans through there. So, and I mean, and Instagram can do so much. I mean, you can have stories posting about, the players, or you can have stories posting about a certain post that they had just did, or, something that's going to happen in the future. I know a big thing was, like Ian had mentioned, that they had done, information on the World Juniors this past month and in December. I definitely feel like it's definitely the reach out kind of media platform that a lot of these teams are able to reach out to the fans, especially to get that interaction with them.
I think it's a great response, and I guess I'll push in a little bit further on what is it about that age group though that would be so enticing. I get the versatility of Instagram and the appeal of it, but why do you guys think the Kraken would want that young fan base, and what do you think they would do with them? And then I guess as a follow-up to that, marry that up with the three ideas. So why Starbucks on Instagram? Why Zoomies on Instagram? Kind of tie it all together for me.
Right. So yeah, I'll chime in on that first question. Short-term memory loss. Can you repeat that question real quick?
Yes, yeah, so I understand the appeal of Instagram for what Instagram does, but I'm curious why the Kraken would want to focus on young fans. And to kind of marry this all together, like the Starbucks idea, the Zoomies idea, why Instagram makes the most sense for this entire sort of ecosystem you're building with the Kraken.
Right. So, I mean, targeting that younger age group and, the high scores, I mean, if you can, because like if you target really younger, I mean, yes, they're still able to make decisions, but they're not going to make, those kind of like lifelong decisions, like being that, I've been a lifelong, Penguins fan, and I was, I was on the younger age when I had always supported them, but it was definitely, in these past couple years where I've really decided, okay, this is a team I really want to support because, they're my hometown. I've always grown up watching them. So I feel like, there's got to be almost like a certain age group. I feel like that you can really hit where they can make that decision that, okay, I'm against every other team, but I'm with this one. But going back to the Zoomies and Starbucks on Instagram, gosh, that question caught me off guard a little bit. But I mean, with Starbucks, I mean, they don't do, I mean, they'll do like posting, like different promotions and stuff and, different events they'll doing, and same with Zoomies. And I feel like, Starbucks, everyone's like most like teenagers, especially my age, are definitely into it because, everyone's got to get that coffee in the morning for school when they're going in, and like even at like tea in the afternoon or evening. And then with Zoomies, I mean, that one's more for, because I know I don't know them well enough, but I do know them well enough to know that, they've done different things with these, like I know Adidas does with them. So I know, and Adidas works with, younger, targeting with younger, kind of like sports appeal. So I can definitely target, and especially now as well, they'll target the age group that we're in as well. And Ian, please chime in.
Yes, I would like to chime in. I think it's important also for the Kraken to focus on mainly Instagram in younger generations. Is that older generations, like the generation before us, they already have ingrained in their brain, or mostly they have a rooted fan base already. So if I've grown up 20 years, Rangers fan, it's gonna be grew up in Manhattan. It's gonna be hard for me to change. Whereas the younger generation, we haven't really felt out our team yet. We haven't really stuck with them. And a good example is it's easy to persuade people to join a different fan base with younger people. Is I was a Capitals fan, growing up in Maryland. Obviously, my family was a Capitals fans, but the Penguins were also pretty close, and we got both channels. So my parents always encourage Capitals first, Capitals first. But the Penguins, they pulled up, reeled me in with the colors, the logo. My favorite animal is a penguin, so I mean that also helped. And then they really marketed Crosby well and Malkin, so they flipped the switch, and I ended up choosing the Penguins. And my parents, obviously weren't in favor of it, but I mean they bought me in, so I would end up being a Penguins fan still into this day. So I feel like if the Kraken can do a good enough job in marketing their team and appealing the youth, especially with their different activities, social events, different stuff that they post, and humorous content always works for this generation. If they can really reel the younger fan base in and get them on board with the team, I think it's going to be really easier transition for them to grow up, and the young generation will stick with their team instead of going to other teams. So it's a great build up. It's almost like having minor league players go to your team and building up a strong minor league based team, and then transferring those players to the NHL and growing a good overall team instead of just getting like one superstar player. So I feel like it's a good build up and it's good building blocks to start a good franchise.
It's a great answer. And I have two strong emotional responses to what just happened. The first one is that to think about being a high school kid obsessed with Starbucks, I'll age myself a little bit. I don't even think I knew what it was, if it even existed when I was in high school. I certainly didn't drink coffee. So I guess times are changing. Ian, to your story, it's funny to hear that. So I also grew up in Maryland, and I also became a casual hockey fan playing NHL 94, which was way back in the day. But it turned me into a massive Montreal Canadiens fan at that time. My fanhood has since kind of waned, but I had the exact same experience that everything I know about hockey was because of the video games. So that being said, with EA Sports, I love the idea of using that to sort of organically promote what the Kraken are all about. But the Kraken are going to be in the game already, right? So how do you take that to the next step where, like, what are you going to do special that isn't already going to be featured in the game simply because they're an NHL franchise? What's the rest of the play there? And that can be for
That's
any
what I
of
was
you.
thinking. That was what I was thinking. The different partnerships and the different sponsorships could come into play. I was thinking we could add different advertisements like Zoomies, Starbucks, add those to the specific Kraken with the team and actually promote them that way. I forget which NHL specifically it was, but they had different replay systems that were sponsored by Wendy's and different promotional opportunities there. And I was feeling if the Kraken can really like partner themselves with the different sponsorships and actually put them in the virtual video game as well, when the kids go to play the game, they'll see the different promotional advertisements just as if we're watching the game on TV. And then they would get those ingrained in their head. And then that can also, a lot of EA games are posted on social media, and it can build it just like as if it was a real game on TV. So that's why I was thinking the extra ideas and stuff like that can come. And if we wanted to extend this project, and I could actually look into that more and get back to you guys later, as if that was we are going to build on this.
Love that idea. I will not say no to you doing extra work to further prove yourself. I'm sure your supervisors would be happy to see that too. Jeff, you have another question?
Yeah, Aviana, you kind of led the way on the Starbucks portion of the presentation, and again, great identification of a global partner with local ties. And you touched briefly on, a promotion kind of centered around like winning tickets. What do you think the specific advantages to the team and Starbucks are in doing that type of promotion where teams actually, or I'm sorry, where fans or buyers actually participate for a chance to win tickets?
I feel like if you enter them into a raffle for buying the drinks, I think maybe they will be more recognized and gain more fans if they do that, so they can have more people to go to the games. And also you can draw more people who don't know much about hockey, because they do look at the drinks, be like, oh yeah, that's cool, I'll get it. And then they be like, oh, I can win free tickets, because it's not every day you get free tickets to the game. So they will just take the opportunity. At least I would. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. And it's kind of similar to, I think it was, Cole, you presented on the idea of 24 hours after a win being able to get, a specially priced jersey. So I was kind of looking for you, like, what's the advantage of that, like the 24-hour timeline versus, hey, go down to Zoomies whenever you can to, pick up a jersey? And that question could be for anybody. I guess to clarify the question a little bit, what's the advantage of a specific timeline when it comes to promotions with surrounding a team and a retailer?
Cole, I think you're on mute.
Sorry, you're right. I mean, if you were to definitely say, having a promotion for like a long period of time, like fans will think, okay, well, I got this long to think about it, and then they'll end up procrastinating, thinking about it, and then maybe the promotion will be over by the time they even decide. So I feel like giving a slightly tighter and like aspect to, I feel like will definitely grab consumers' attention to be able to, or to come in and get some merchandise, not specifically jerseys, but just, Kraken merchandise in general, because I know they got hats, shirts, sweatshirts, jerseys, different stuff. So I know, like, definitely it would, you want to like try to tighten that space so that, it makes the consumer aware that, okay, well, this is only going on for, until 6 or whenever they close. And it makes them want to be aware, okay, well, I can get this discount for such and such for, for this amount of time. So it brings in the consumer aspect of it. But also wants to bring in like the fan aspect where, it's right after a game, Kraken are celebrating, whatnot. You have a good night out or something, watching the game. I definitely like gets people wanting to go buy their merchandise, I feel like.
Excellent. You both really touched on what I was looking for there, which again is, the big value why brands work with sports teams. It's that actionability, right? It's to get, buyers to do something, whether it's to go down to the store and make a purchase or to fill out something or, apply online to get tickets. It actually makes people drive and take action. And I think sports teams, create that better than most, which is why a lot of brands try to partner with them. So you guys did a great job of recognizing that in both cases.
All right, to your team supervisors, comments from you all, feedback, thoughts?
From my end, just good job, guys. You guys really pulled it together, and I'm really proud to see what you guys did pull together because there were still a lot of loose ends when we talked. So congratulations. I thought it was a really great presentation.
Yeah, I echo that. You guys did a great job. It was super impressive just listening to you guys kind of come up with these ideas, do the research. I learned a lot about Seattle. I learned a lot about kind of their traditions, and I'm excited to see what the Kraken do. I wouldn't be surprised if they do a lot of what you guys thought of because it was so creative and so original, and you guys did a great job. And I think we've all said it on this call, but a lot of us are in rooms. I think I've told you guys this before. I'm in rooms all day long brainstorming partnership ideas with 50-year-old people that don't have ideas as good as you guys did. And you guys are really creative. So you should be very proud of yourselves.
Well done.
To the team, any questions for us? All right, I got to get a screenshot of everybody smiling before I let everybody go. We ready? Look at your camera, big smiles, 1, 2, 3. All right, hopefully that worked. I'm not tech savvy at all. We'll see. We'll bring everybody else back on if it didn't. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much. This was really impressive. We're so glad you all participated. We hope we see you back at some of our events in the future. We will be in touch, as will your judges, with a whole lot more thorough feedback. But stay in touch with us. We are on Instagram and Twitter and all the other social media platforms. So follow us, engage with us. Please stay a part of our family. We're here to help. And feel free to reach out to your judges, to your supervisors, to us anytime if you ever have questions, want advice, want connections, whatever it may be. That's what we're here for.
The NHL season kicks off tonight, so be sure to tune in. Let's go Rangers.
Yeah.
Cole, I
Thank you,
hate to
guys.
tell you I'm pulling for the Flyers tonight, but I'll think about you as I'm watching it.
Flyers.
I know. My husband's from Philly, so I'm sorry, but
No, I mean, they had good season last year. I wouldn't blame if they do defeat us, but kind of hoping for Penguins to come on top today.
we'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
good job, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Very well
guys.
done. Thanks again.
Enjoy the rest of
Thank
your
you.
night. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.